his special abilities on a rookie. Zhu then tells him that he is not observant enough. He then asks if he still hasn't realized that Wang was able to block a punch of 299 power. The boxer then used his power punch on Wang, which was of 388 power. Wang realized that the punch looked powerful, but he still wanted to see if he could block that punch. The boxer then lands the punch, but Wang dodges it. The boxer tells him to quit dodging, but Wang said that he didn't need to dodge, but he doesn't know how to activate his special ability. Master Zhu tells Wang to imagine that he poked a milk bottle with a straw and sucked the power from the milk and absorbed it into his stomach. Wang was clueless about what he was trying to say. Zhu tells him to imagine and focus. Wang then imagined opening the refrigerator. He knows that it can't be opened with a straw, so he imagines opening it with a drill and starts drilling the refrigerator. The refrigerator crack opens a gap, and from that gap, power starts to come out. Wang knew that he could control it, as it was just a thread of energy. He then imagined absorbing it and becoming successful. It was the first time he used a real energy transfer, so he wondered if that is what he is supposed to do to use his special ability. Others were surprised, as he was able to use his ability after trying it once. The boxer gets scared and wonders if that fight should go on. Master Zhu then tells the boxer to use full force, so he starts to charge it up. He then launches his attack, but Wang blocks it easily. The boxer was surprised that Wang blocked his attack without using any tricks. Wang then clenches his fist and said, "It is his turn now." Master Zhu then instructs Wang about how he should punch. Wang attacked with his special ability and sent the boxer flying with a single punch. Everyone was surprised to see it because the punching power was 688. Everyone then starts to cheer for him, saying that they never saw something like that. Wang then looks at the person who is instructing him and asks if he is Master Zhu. After the fight, the boxer asked Wang if he now understands just how awesome his master is. Master Zhu said that Wang learned faster compared to his weak student. He noticed that Wang had an abundance of special abilities in his body, but Wang had no idea how to use them. Wang tells him that he would like to learn under him. Master Zhu replied that he was planning on retiring due to old age, but since he sees great potential in him, he can't help but want to teach him. He also added that he won't be holding back in making him strong enough to be the pillar of humanity. The girl then brings a registration form and tells Wang to sign it. He then writes his name, and when he asked about the payment method, everyone noticed his name and stares at him intensely. Master Zhu said that he takes back what he said and tells him to forget about it. The girl shows him the door and kindly tells him to get out, but Wang asks why. The girl tells him that it is because he is the dependent of you, who sparked rumors around recently. Wang gets angry and asks why couldn't a dependent get a master? The girl replied that their academy won't be able to accommodate a mighty person like him, and the master also added that he is a normal human and is not worthy of teaching a vampire. Wang gets surprised to hear this. Wang was going back home, saying that he could have had a capable master, but he was cast out because of his identity. It was pissing him off. Still, it was strange for him that the moment they found out about his identity, they talked with him respectfully, but remained hostile. He then starts to wonder why were they being hostile toward him. After that, two shadow figures appeared above Wang's head and then landed on the ground before him. Wang gets surprised and afterward, one of them launches a kick toward him. The kick missed, and the other person pins Wang on the wall. He asks if he is the winner of Yu's dependent selection, then he should know a woman carrying a gun during the exam. He asks what happened to her and tells him to answer it. Wang then calls the person by Coach Wu and said that his power isn't at 388, because the power he was using to choke him is at least 600. He then opens his mask and said he is right about it, but it doesn't matter who he is, as he just needs to answer his question. Wu grips his neck tightly and said, "Let's find out how much power his neck could handle." But suddenly, Wang grabbed his hand and knocks him down. The other member attacked from behind, but got easily defeated by Wang. Wu shouted at Wang for hitting his friend, but then Wang kicked him and pins him on the ground. Wang said, after extracting the energy of the special ability, we inject it into our body's point of force, and asked Master Zhu if he is right. Master Zhu was standing above a building and watched him beating his students. Master Zhu scolds Wu for not listening to him and makes a move on his own. Wu apologized to Master Zhu and talked about the girl who went to the Dependence exam. But Zhu shouted, saying she died for humanity in battle, that's an honor. Wang smiled and agreed with Master Zhu, but Wu tells him to shut up, as it's none of his business, and called him vampire's lackey. Wang replied, he is not the vampire's lackey, because if he were, then Wu would have already died. Wang revealed that even after becoming independent, he still retained his sense of self, and tells them to verify it themselves. Master Zhu replied, humans who are mutated by vampires would lose all of their humanity, and testing it is a simple matter. Master Zhu then called for Zio, and she came out of hiding. She had a gun in her hand. That's called the Morg's pulsation treatment gun. She points the gun toward Wang and said, it can trigger the deepest primitive desires of the person who gets shot. She added, there were dependents who wanted to infiltrate the internal departments, yet they revealed their own true character in the ugliest way after being shot and asked if he still wanted to have a try. Even after hearing that, Wang said okay to it, which shocked all of them. He then went close to Zio, pointed the gun at his head, and tells her to shoot. Confused, Zio asks,
I might go work with my brother.
what she just said, but Wang still tells her to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he work? His deeper self is
He handles fiberglass and stuff like that.
one day, he can turn into a vampire. Then it
$18
would be
an hour.
best for him to die now.
He's gonna be a lead, and he's already friends with
He's
the
not worried that they made this all
higher
up.
ups. So he's like, "Yeah, I got you, bro."
Verify
So
or
okay.
differentiate humans from vampires. Wang replied that from what he observed, they are all true warriors. In this world, they are respectable people, so Wang thought that
I
it's
told you
better
you
to
didn't
die
have
where he
to. I
is
told you
from
stop
a
worrying about getting no
That's
goddamn
why
money.
Wang believed that none of them have a reason
You
to
don't
fight.
like to listen.
Zio gathered her courage and shoots Wang in the head, saying humans will never stop
they canceled
fighting.
that
It's their
work
belief.
from home job.
After the shot, Wang
Why?
fell on the ground, and Master Zhu tells Zio to stay back.
You don't
As he
qualify.
retreats,
What do you mean by that?
all of them were prepared.
What do you mean by that?
He is going to attack them
Don't
soon.
qualify.
At the same time, Master Zhu used his body as an energy vessel, and with the pulse column, he was checking the reaction of the blood. And then a smile emerged on Wang's face, and he woke up with a thirsty look on his face. They shouted that he looped. You know that feeling of having to rewash dishes that didn't get clean? I know. Cascade Platinum
Almost
Plus.
6 o'clock.
On grease-like power and double scrubbing power for a no rewash clean and a cabinet ring shine. Upgrade to new Cascade Platinum Plus. Air and dish directly. And he actually is a vampire. Wu tells everyone to stand back and wait for Wang to self-destruct. The other member gets scared and said Wang was supposed to lose control, so why is he still coming towards them? Zio tried to shoot Wang again, but before she could fire, Wang snatched away the gun from her hand. He then praised the gun, saying, this advanced gun is very cool, which shocked the others. Wang said, this gun is very effective, as it took him out for a moment. He asked if this technology in the gun is the same kind of equipment as the one Master Zhu is using. Master Zhu asked Wang, how is he all right? Wang replied, he already said that he's a human, but the other member said he is lying, and he must be a new kind of vampire species. But Wang tells him to shut up and ask Master Zhu if he can listen to him. Suddenly, Wang's phone started ringing, so they all thought that Wang used his cell phone to counter their pulse device. They then started searching his body and took his phone from him. The call was from Wen Cheng, and as soon as they picked it up, Wen Cheng shouted that he found it. He said, there is an academic thesis, and it's the method to kill all the vampires. Wang then tells Wu to believe him now, because there is no way a vampire would research the methods of killing himself every single day. And while the other three were in a complete shock, they heard Wen Cheng asking Wang to get into his dependent's space. Wu then said, so this guy is his dependent, so there's no way they would believe him. After a while, the dependent Wen Cheng looked at everyone with a confused face and said, so these are your friends from. But before he could even finish, the dependent Wen Cheng was shot right in the head. And then, just like Wang, the shot didn't affect him at all, and he asked if this shot was some form of treatment. Then suddenly, they all started laughing, leaving Wen Cheng confused. Wang then whispered to Wen Cheng that they found themselves some allies, and they are no longer alone in this. Master Zhu said, in the past 100 of years, humans have always fought back. Vampires could only pretend to care about humans, while controlling humans through every aspect of their lives. Through education, the internet, and culture, humans are conditioned to glorify vampires. Humans were never destroyed by vampires, but by their own greed, and now it is getting more and more challenging for them. But he still believes that humanity will win. Master Zhu then said he will teach them about their special ability, but because of their identity, he can't fully trust them. But still, Wang and Wencheng accepted to train under him. Wencheng then tells Master Zhu that he found a thesis that discusses the vampire's core and the methods of killing vampires, and Master Zhu replied that it's all true. He said that only vampires with rank Earl and above have the vampire's core. It's almost like an inherited status. To kill a normal vampire, a normal dependent only has to violently slaughter that vampire. But for vampires who rank Earl and above, they will only be reborn if you kill them without destroying their vampire's core. Master Zhu added that they can barely fight lower ranked vampires, so they could never beat the higher ranks. But luckily, there aren't too many of them. Otherwise, humans would have no hope left. He tells Wang that they have been looking for an opportunity to assassinate his master Yu's father, and they heard that he is going to the capital. He then gave a box to Wang and said he needs to deliver it to his friend there, and he can't open it. Wang accepted, so Zhu tells them to follow him so he can teach them about their special abilities. They both get happy after hearing them and excitedly follow him. 3 days later, they both crawl out of a room, saying they survived. They were crying tears of joy as they could finally see the sun. The others were smiling, thinking now they know what it's like to have Master Zhu teach them himself. Master Zhu said he can only teach them this much for now, and they will have to train hard and learn intensively by themselves in the future. He thought they both have physical form of vampires, yet somehow they have maintained their humanity, so he wondered if they are humankind's hope. Soon it was the time to depart for the capital. Yu tells Wang to enjoy the trip, as this is the first time they are going out, but Wang replied he cannot enjoy nothing, that it's a dangerous banquet they are going to. Wang thought something doesn't feel right, but still, he need to find ways to deliver that thing to that person. Suddenly, he gets startled as Yu gets close and hugs him. She asks him if he knows why they are going to the capital in the car fleet instead of on a private airplane. She explained that the car shock absorbers are pretty good and asked him if you want to check out just how good they are. And as he tried to get into it, Wang unintentionally released his arm, which converts you into a small girl. Shocked, Wang asked what happened to her, but she just cried and said she needs him to comfort her.